Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aliyah. Thank you so much for the 1K, and if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more fashion contents like this. So on today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to draft a mandarin collar, also known as the stand collar or also the Chinese collar. Okay, so these collars can be found on shirts and even in some cases dresses and all that. So that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you here. So I went ahead to draw in my lines right here. So these lines are just to guide me to draw my collar. So this is the bottom part of my collar right here. Okay, so I'm going to be using this dress collar as an example for this collar right here. So in one of my videos I showed how to create these collars, this shirt collar right here, like you can see, so nice. So if you want to learn how to make it, I'll be leaving the link in my description box, so make sure you check it out from there. Before we start drafting our mandarin collar, we need to know the width of our shirt collar or whatever you're using this mandarin collar for. So okay, let's just say this collar right here wasn't there. So whatever you are having here, the hair is not going to be finished, right? So whatever you're having here, that's exactly what you're going to measure to all the way to the other side here, and make sure that you measure it well. If not, it will affect your drafting. So let's say that if you don't measure it well, and instead of 18 you go ahead to cut 18 in half, your collar might end up being bigger. So make sure when you're going to measure it, you measure it exactly from this starting point all the way to the other side. Okay, so for this collar I'm getting about 18 and a half, but I'll use 18 for the sake of this tutorial. I'll just use 18. So whatever you have, make sure that you use that measurement for this. So I'm going to be dealing with a half scale right now. So whatever neckline width you have, go ahead and then divide it by 2, and whatever you have, we are going to be drawing it right here. So since I'm using 18 divided by 2 is 9. So that's exactly what I'm going to be marking here. This is my 9 inches right here. On the 9-inch mark, you'll be going up by half an inch. So we're going to be blending our half an inch back to this line right here, back to our main line using your curve. So make sure you blend it in well. So this is it right here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be marking our neckline length. So I'll be using a length of 1.5. So if you want your neckline length to be 2 inches, that one too is fine, but don't make it too long. I mean, it depends on the style you're actually going to use it for. So I'll just be maintaining my 1.5 inch right here. So we're going to mark it all the way to our 9 inch. So make sure you follow this line all the way to the curve. And then connect it with your curve. So this is exactly how it's gonna look like after you're done drawing the top and bottom line. So we're just going to be squaring it down from here. So make sure that it's up to your 9 inches here. So just draw a straight line like this, and then connect it to meet the line. So it's going to look something like this. So what we're going to do next is we'll be coming in half an inch from this point here. So at that point, go in by half of an inch. So on this half-inch line, that's where our curve is gonna be like, because when you check out this mandarin collar we are doing, here it's not straight, this side is not straight, it's a bit curved in like this. That's the part going towards the front, it's not straight at that point here. So that's why we're going in half-inch. So we're just going to be connecting our curve from this point all the way to the bottom point here. Okay, so after connecting it, I just went ahead to draw it in like this. So maybe you can come down like a quarter here and just draw it to meet that quarter line so that you get that curve right here. Okay, so if you're done drawing this part and it still feels a bit high to you, you can just go in and blend it from this point back into the line. So this side depends on how you want it to be. So for me, I just go in the half of an inch and I go ahead, go down like a quarter, then I draw it to meet the line here. But this side depends on how you want your collar to look like. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead to label it. So this side is going to be on fold, like I said. When you're done and you cut it on your fabric, it's gonna become one piece instead of this half piece right here. So this part becomes the top part, and here becomes the bottom part. So this side goes towards the back neckline, and this side goes towards the front neckline. So that's all for our simple mandarin collar. It's so simple to draft, and it's also very, very simple to sew. So I'll show you a simple way I sew this collar right here. So I'll just go ahead and use my grey bag for this tutorial. You also need your stiff or your gum stay. You'll be pressing this one on the collar right after you cut it out. So I'll show you how to do that next. Okay, so I went ahead to cut out my collar out of my pattern paper. So I'm just going to show you how I cut this part. So make sure that it curve right here, you cut into that side, and then we'll also be cutting the curve we created right here. Okay, so after we're done cutting out our mandarin collar pattern, we're going to be transferring this right here to the to our stiff or gum stay. Okay, so we're just going to be turning it to the wrong side. Make sure that the part we are going to be transferring our collar to is at the wrong side, not the shiny side. So where the glue is not showing. So we're going to be turning that to the other side. So just like this. Mine is a bit crumpled, so just bear with me. So I went ahead to mark my 2 points right here. So these 2 points, we're just going to take our collar like this. Where the unfold sign is, I'm just going to place it where I want my collar to start or to end from. So I just went ahead to mark it at that point. Then after marking it down, I went ahead to measure the full length of my collar, which is 18 inches. It's 18 inches. So make sure it's directly the neckline measurement or the neckline width you are using. So that's the 18 right here, which I've marked. So you are going to end up having these 2 points right here. Okay, so it's time to draw our shape on our stiff like so. So we're just going to be placing one side of the stiff. This is this side, not the part that is on fold. That's the side right here, the side going towards the front. It's going to be on one point. Place it directly on the points like so. Make sure that it aligns with the bottom part right here. So if you cannot draw it holding it, you can just go ahead and pin it down. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead to draw the shape of our collar on our gum stay or stiff. If you are liking the video so far, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't also forget to hit the notification bell so it alerts you when I post any of my videos. So make sure that when you're drawing it up to this point, it's directly on the mark right here. So after you're done drawing it, just take it out like so. So we're done with one side. We're just gonna go ahead to do the same thing with the other side. So we've gotten our full shape now. So you'll make sure that when you measure it from this point all the way here, it's exactly the neckline width you're using. After you're done getting your full collar, it's time for cutting it out. So make sure when you're cutting it out, you leave enough space. Don't cut it too close to the ends here. So you have to leave an amount of space, about even ½ inch or more. So after cutting it out like this, you can choose to cut it on bias with your fabric. So on your fabric, you fold it into the bias way, and then you place your stiff directly on it and then press it, or you can just cut it the straight way. So the straight way, I won't fold it on bias, I'll just fold it on my cloth like so, and then place this stiff right on it and press it. So that one too works for me, so I'll be doing that method. So I went ahead to cut a piece of my gray baft like so. Okay, so you just go ahead and place your stiff directly on the fabric like so. Then you go ahead and press it down. Make sure that when you are doing that, you have enough space down here. So let's say you can leave about half of an inch. But before we do that, don't forget to trim out this sides here, since it's a bit curved, like it has curved in a bit. So I went ahead to iron down my stiff on my fabric. So make sure that you fold your fabric like this. So there are two layers right here. Fold it, then you place your stiff on it, then you press it down. And then when I finished, I went ahead to mark ½ inch down here. So this side, this space you see right here is ½ inch. So make sure that you make it ½ of an inch. Then you go ahead and trim out the excess here, so that we get the shape of our collar. Okay, so after we're done pressing it down, we're just going to fold one side towards the collar. So wherever this stiff ends, you're going to be folding it in to get the shape of just the bottom part here. So fold in your ½ inch like so, and then we're going to be pressing it down. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look like. So make sure that when you're done folding it in, you check and see if it has laid very well on the stiff or gum stay, because when your stiff folds in a bit, it ends up reducing that portion there. So make sure that your stiff doesn't fold in at this point. Okay, so after we're done pressing everything down, we're just gonna go ahead to sew it now. So before we sew it, we need to mark out the point here from where it starts to where it ends, before you go ahead to sew it. So I'm going to start sewing from this point all the way to the other side. So make sure that when you are sewing the curve here, you just take your time and sew it. If not, the two ends might end up looking different. So you're just going to take your time to sew the curve like I'm doing, and make sure you follow the line. So after I've done sewing it, we're just going to be trimming the excess this side. So just trim and follow that side here. Leave about a quarter at this point here. So when you're done trimming it, we're just going to be turning it from this wrong side here all the way to the right side. So what we are going to do next is that we are going to be pressing our collar down so that it stays firm. Okay, so I just went ahead to press it. See how nice and flat it's looking. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be top stitching it from that point we stitched here all the way to the other point here. Okay, so after we're done top stitching this, I'm just quickly going to show you how I join this to my tops or my dresses or whatever you're going to use this collar for. So I'll be using this piece of fabric to explain how I do it. Okay, so let's just say this side is my neckline right here. So I'm just going to take your collar like this, place it on the neckline at this point. So we're just going to be pinning only this one on the fabric. We're going to be pinning just this one. Don't pin all together, just this piece right here to your neckline. So you place it right side on right side like so. So this will be the right side to right side here. Then we're just going to pin it down. And make sure that when you're pinning it down, this side folds in by your quarter. Remember we left a quarter here. So that's exactly what you're going to start pinning from. So when you pin up to this point, make sure that this point here, the 1/4 inch here, lands directly on the neckline, on the other side of the neckline. So it's always good to pin these 2 ends first before blending the rest in when you're joining it to your neckline. Okay, so I'm done pinning it down. I'm just gonna go ahead to measure my 1/2 inch here and then stitch it. So just mark your 1/2 inch at this point and then stitch it down. And also make sure that when you're going to stitch this part right here, you're going to start exactly where this one starts from. So you start somewhere here, very, very close to this piece right here. Okay. So after you're done joining this part, this is how it's gonna be like. So this is my neckline here. It's also just like joining a shirt collar. So when you're done sewing it, this one goes inside the collar like so. So you see how it looks like? It's hidden in there. So what we are going to do is we are going to be pushing this extra fabric in like right here, so it won't show anymore. So just push it in like this. Make sure that it sits on the stitch right here, and then we are going to pin it down from this point all the way to the other side. So after we're done pinning it, we're just going to go ahead to stitch our quarter right here. So we are done stitching our collar. This is how it's going to look at the other side too. So when you're done, this is how your stand collar is going to look like. So when you wear it, it will stand very nice like this. So mind you, I just joined it to a piece of fabric, that's why it's looking straight like that. But when you join it to your neckline, it's just gonna sit on it very nicely too. So that's all for this mandarin collar right here. So if you're gonna try this collar, do let me know in the comment section, and also don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel for more fashion contents like this. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day wherever you are. Bye.